Welcome to the Hustle and Motivate podcast video. I don't know what podcast is called video too. Welcome to the Hustle and Motivate podcast. I am Marcus, my boy Will. What's going on? We missed that. What's going on, bro? Today, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite issue, gear. Is it the gear? Does the gear make it, or does the person make the end product better? Is it a combination of both? Which one is more important? Does gear really matter? I know a couple people who will say it don't. They also have trash gear, or they're limited on their gear. I know some people who have all the new gear. They still ain't good. Which one is more important? And we're also, we are live from True Collective, by the way. I'm sorry, where this motherfucker got gear. So let's see what he say. Because what you don't see is these C-stands in here that are $200 a piece. He got a screen in here that we could have put our faces on to see how we look. He got a brand new iMac over there. He got an iMac monitor. His iPad is plugged in. He got soft boxes. He got stands in here. He got too much stuff. So I want to see what he's about to lie about y'all with.
I'm not gonna lie.
Which one? So which one he also has a new gearbox on the ground over there. Which one's more important?
It's a balance of both. It really is. It's a balance of both.
Let's talk about, before we get going,
Okay.
Let's go to our humble beginnings. Well, let's break down. What was the first piece of gear you got?
A Nikon D3200.
Value of that camera at the time? $550. Mind you, this was when DSLRs had finally started to break through.
Yeah,
we weren't using mirrorless. Mirrorless was more like point and shoot. That's what everybody used. And interchangeable lenses, DSLRs, the bridge between video photography met in the DSLR.
It wasn't even video on those things weren't even great.
No, they weren't. See, I had a 5D. I had a Canon 6D, which was the difference was in the middle of the 5D and a Rebel. So you had video capabilities, but you didn't have 5D style capability. These cameras were terrible on light. You push the ISO past 1200, you start to see noise.
Yes, man.
They took big old CF cards. Well, I think you might have been SD.
That was SD.
I took a CF card, which back then CF cards were expensive.
They kind of like the SQDs now, man.
They didn't have it only had 1080. 4K wasn't even a thing. It barely had. When we came in, 60 frames were just starting to become something DSLR started to have, and the DSLR was seen as what college students got because video was still the big old digital cameras.
Or the little handheld camcorder, right?
Oh yeah, little handheld camcorder. And DSLRs had a sharper image.
But those point and shoots were pretty good too for video.
Yeah, but you still had an interchangeable lens.
Right.
So it might have been a 8. No, it wasn't even that wide. Maybe a 17 to 35 with a 3.5 to 5.5 stop, 5 stop joint. And the lens I had was a 24 to 55. That's when they had the gold plated lenses.
F4.
It was a 3.5 to 5.5, and I did not know what that was when I got it. So I'm zooming. I'm like, this something's getting dark.
Yeah, because it automatically changed.
So tell them why you picked that camera.
So I hate that I chose Nikon from the beginning. Honestly, I can admit that now. Like I wish I had gotten candid. I just didn't know. So I had a girlfriend at the time, and I told her I wanted to become a photographer, and it was
Probably one of two girlfriends he's ever had. Go ahead.
I wasn't in those days yet. I was actually in love. So,
One of two times he was in love.
um,
But if y'all want to know that about that's Will's other YouTube channel he got, you should apply to be on his close friends. It's a monthly premium, but you're gonna learn a lot. Go ahead.
So it was a lady at our job, and she was selling a camera, and it was a Nikon D5000. It was in that prosumer.
Yeah, the
range.
prosumer range, man.
And she wanted like $800 for it. I was like, man, I come with $800. So
how did you come up with that money
to get the camera?
To get the camera you got?
I'm gonna tell you. So I didn't have the money at the time. I had nothing. Like I think I looked at my bank. I had like $125 in my bank account. I was
Disclaimer: Will was only what, 18, 19?
19 at the time.
19 at the time. Go ahead.
And she was like, "Don't buy that camera from her. She's trying to get over on you." But I want the camera. Like I'm gonna figure out how to get the camera. Like, I don't care.
This is what I need. This is what I need.
Like,
I don't went home. I don't YouTube this.
Yes,
like
this is gonna be it.
This all I need.
I'm gonna stop having $125 in my bank account.
Not knowing how much you can really make in this business, by the way.
So she was like, "Don't worry about that." I was like, "Yeah, after what you talking about, I'm gonna go see if I can get this camera from this lady. I ain't hearing nothing you say." So she gets on Craigslist and she was like, "I found a camera in Williamsburg."
Craigslist.
Yes, man. Like, don't this just seem like?
That's where I got a lot of gear coming out today. That's where I got a lot of gear.
Facebook Marketplace, but Craigslist was
jumping.
Yes,
you can get anything on Craigslist.
Jobs on Craigslist.
Get jobs.
So she told me, "Look, I found this. Well, check this out." She was like, "It was $550." So I was like, maybe I can make that work. All right. So once again, I go back to my bank account.
Did she know you had $120 in your bank account?
Hell no, she didn't know. I didn't tell her nothing.
Oh, okay.
But I made it look good. Like, you want to go out to dinner Friday night, we can make something happen.
You can make something. Yeah, but fake it. You good. She's not knowing you blowing all this money.
I probably gonna have $30 for the rest of the week. But we can go to PM Change. We can have a good time.
We go to PM Change.
So, she sends me a link, and man, I'm like, shit, we probably have to sell my PlayStation.
You was that dedicated.
I was that dedicated. I was gonna sell my PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
3. Yeah, 3. I was gonna sell my PlayStation, pawn it or something.
You was that dedicated.
I was gonna get me a camera, and so when I thought about it, my pops owed me some money.
Your pops owe you money.
Let me tell you how he owed me money. I worked with him for 3 summers, and when those summers that I worked with him, he paid me $150 to $125 a week. But he always made me put away money.
Okay.
He made me put it aside, and for those 4 summers, or whatever that I worked with him, I had saved like $1,000, like $980 or something like that. I had in the savings account.
But he had access to it.
He had access to it.
You didn't have it.
I forgot, because I was a minor at the time. I forgot all about it. So I come to him, I say, "Hey man, I need $500."
So you were that desperate when you trying to figure out how to get money that you found, you remember.
My wheels were spinning. I mean spinning. "Hey man, I need $500. What do you need $500 for?" "I need to buy a camera."
He didn't know you were interested in doing photography yet.
It's like, I'm not giving you $500.
Well, technically, you're not have to. It's mine.
No, I hadn't thought about this yet. I hadn't even figured it. But I just came to him and said, "I need $500. Give me $500." Nah, I ain't giving you $500. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. So I go to work.
Your mind is consumed
with this camera.
Every day is about finding this camera.
Finding a way to get this camera. Because if I get this camera, I'm going to be the next jazz star. That's all I know. That's all I know. Okay. I get to work. I pull up the internet and I put the link, the Craigslist link. We had 2 screens. I put it on the other side so I could click back and forth and look at it.
Just to keep reminding you.
This is what we focus on today.
Bump everything going on. This is my place of employment.
Right here. I said it. That damn BB&T money. I leave my desk.
I can hear. It's like a light bulb. Like
It went right off.
Bing.
That damn BBC. But I got $980 I worked for since I was a teenager, bro. Give me my money. So I go out in the back. I say, hey man, that $980 I had in '07, I need to cash in on that. I need that. He was like, you remember that? Yeah.
Where's my money?
Where my money? Like, we go to Williamsburg this afternoon. Damn right.
He had to go all the way to Williamsburg.
You know how I drove that piece of shit truck. I won't make it to nobody.
Oh, for you to get the camera from Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to be like, wait a minute.
Went to Williamsburg that afternoon, and after I got off work, he took me to Williamsburg, gave me the $550, and said, get the camera.
He took Joy up there so you can meet the lady to get the camera. Didn't have no lens with it.
No, it had an 18
okay.
55 5.6, whatever that. What they call it lens? What is it called when it comes with it? I can't think of the name, but you know the BS lens.
Yeah, stop lens that they put. Yeah.
Stop lens. There it is. Yeah. That's what I got. And from there, then I got a job at Glamour Shots, and I was saving money, and I bought a flash.
You was ready.
I got a flash and a camera. I'm about to fuck all y'all up.
This room.
I got my mom got her old laptop. I went and looked at it. I'm taking pictures of plants and flowers, all different.
I'm gonna figure this out.
I'm gonna figure this out. That's how I had it.
How did I get my camera? I'm in college. They weren't, DSLRs was a thing, and I saw a guy. I met a guy.
I think it was just transitioning from film, right?
It was just coming to digital.
Okay.
And House, the show House, and Valor, I can't think of it. It was a military movie. Shot the entire movie on a 5D. And House had shot a couple episodes with the 5D. So they were starting to experiment. Productions were experimenting.
That makes sense because that quality started to change.
So they started transitioning to DSLRs, and then like a lot of movie sets were like putting them in like car chases because they could blow up and it don't cost a lot of money. That's what they were really used for back in the day. You throw one in on a Fast and Furious set, put it behind Vin Diesel, and if the thing breaks, it breaks. Right. So I'm like, I met a guy through a friend of mine named, I can't think of his name, Sam Rogers. I met him through this guy I went to college with named Shauna. And he was doing music videos at the time. That was me. I was gonna be Hype Williams. I saw Kanye videos, Jay. I'm watching BET. I'm like,
that's me.
It's me. I'm like, okay, he could do videos locally. Oh, he doing videos locally. Okay. And he had just did one with Pusha. And I was like, he's like, yeah, man, I shot on the 5D. I'm like, okay. Then I worked with Greg. And Greg was using the 5Ds, and I was like, "Oh, this is where it's at. Oh, I got to get me one of these." So we had a meeting for some shoot, and I asked Sam, "Yo, first of all, let me think about it. First. I have to try to figure out. I had a job, wasn't making no money. Dad was making me pay rent, and I was a college student. I wasn't making no money, and I researched how them things was like 16. Well, the 5D was 25, $3,000 or something like that, maybe coming out. I was like, I'm never getting that. I'd already had a credit card I had maxed out. Apple had given me with a credit card when I first got my iMac. That was maxed out. Didn't know nothing about that. And then I'm like, all right, I'm 23 at the time, and Sam was like, look, man, I'm gonna get a rap.
Hold on. Can we just appreciate how the fuck we survived them young ages?
I had a job and I was making it, and I had met with Sam. Was like, well, man, look, man. I said, man, I'm gonna get a Rebel. Rebels like $300-400, because these guys on campus had a Rebel, and they were doing music videos for this gospel circuit. They were killing the gospel circuit in our area,
making music
videos for the gospel rappers. You know, that was a trend. So I'm like, they shot you on a Rebel. Give me a Rebel, man. Give me a Rebel. I don't need no 7.6 5D. Met with Sam. Sam would say, look, man, if you're going to get something, get the best so you can grow with it. He said, what's the point of you getting a camera that you're going to outgrow in 2 years? or, it's gonna be limited. I'm not saying if you can get a 6D or a 5D, get it, because at least that gives you 3, 4, 5 more years for you need another camera.
He just messed everything up.
All right, cool. 6D, $1,700. I remember.
Brand new.
Got to argue with my dad about that. Brand new.
For real.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I came back, went through the summer, couldn't get that camera. It's bugging me because I'm like, man, I got it. In my mind, I'm not gonna make it. I gotta learn how to do this stuff, and the region not teaching me. I gotta get a camera. Student loans kicked in.
Hey.
So you know what? I'm gonna claim the max.
Yeah.
I took it to my dad. Sign this. What's this? Parent Plus line. I gotta get for school. It's a little higher than what it normally is. Well, I got things I need to get with it. He's like, what you got to get with it? I'm like, well, I need a new computer so I can edit on. I need a camera. He like, what do I get out of this cut? What do you mean? Well, it's my name. Shouldn't I get a cut of this? No! It's like, my dad was the ultimate. This is one of the reasons why I'm an entrepreneur now. My dad was the ultimate businessman. He is the ultimate businessman. Everything was a give and take.
Yeah.
He taught me in the world. If you doing business, you need to make sure that it's beneficial to the party that you need. How much you need, man?
I think you're truly something special, 'cause I really like what you done to me. I can't really explain it. I'm so into you.
Pause in action. You like this interview? You like the knowledge you're getting? You like our guests? We continuously do this week in and week out. So we'll be bringing content to y'all week in and week out. If you want to catch the next interview, like, subscribe, hit the ring bell for us. Get notified on the next episode of the Hustle and Motivate podcast. Let's get back into it.
So my dad is chief businessman, right? So he's like, everything's a business transaction with him. That's kind of why I've got in business, because I'm so used to dealing with somebody growing up. I just know how to deal with business now. So he's like, claim the max and we'll figure it out. Okay. He didn't know how much that stuff I had cost.
Right.
I check my account every day for that money to hit. I think it was wound up being like $6,000 or something like that.
Getting busy.
IMAX was about $2,500 because they had just kind of went to the flat base, but they the old models with the flat back, round back. So they had finally got them out. Picked up one of them, 17-inch, didn't tell them. 27-inch, didn't tell them. Camera was 17, so I think I had blew like $4,000.
Right there.
$4,000 in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I had everything in my cart saved.
Saved.
I ain't go to use right. I bought brand new. I went down to Best Buy. I walked in. He said, "Hey man, how can I help you? I need that." "What you got, man?" I'm like, "I need that 6D right there." Because I had to balance it out. Because I got a 5D, I was gonna get to my iMac.
Right.
And in my mind, I already had a laptop that I didn't think was strong enough to handle what I was the editing. So I got the iMac. I never forget. I had to order it. It got delivered. I went home. I walked in. "Hey man, he came. Hey man, your package here. What you got there?" "I got my computer." He like, "Computer? For what?" "Editing, man. I gotta be able to edit. And I get out here and work. I gotta be able to edit and all this other stuff. With my camera." He like, "I thought you was only getting the camera." I was, but I realized I need a computer. And then, like I said, them CF cars and batteries won't cheap. So I spent another like $200 on. I call myself getting an 8 gigabyte CF card for like $40 at Best Buy.
No
Dude
way.
didn't say nothing.
Didn't
to
tell
me.
you nothing.
I got to a gig with Greg. Greg said, "Hey man, put it in 1080."
That's gone. It's gone already.
All right.
It's
I put it in there, right? I hit record. 10 seconds later,
gone.
I was like, something wrong with the card. I took the card out, put it back in. 2 minutes later, stop card. I'm like, the Best Buy sent me a defaulty card. I'm on this shit with Greg. Greg paying me good money. They paying me like $25 an hour. I put it back in, full. I know that what this card is. I said, hey man, my 8 gig full, man. You got another one? Greg was like, 8 what? I said, 8 gigs. Oh, big dog. Dog. This like, hey, big dog.
Ain't it?
Big dog. 8 gigs? Man, what you videoing, dog? I'm like, what you mean, man?
It's 8 gigs. Super
Bruh,
good.
take this 32. I was like, 32?
That shit like $250, bro.
I said, man, you got 32s? He was like, dog, you gotta have them. Then he was like, man, we got 125. 125s? That was like a $500 SIM card, right? So I said, all right, man. So I was like, dang, I gotta go order some more. So I ordered 2 32s off eBay. Transcends, the cheapest brand you can find.
Just for some shit to fail.
Just for it to fail. So my dad like, so you got a camera on? How much money you got left? A couple $100?
Yeah.
About $600. I thought you was gonna. Got carried away. I said, if I gotta make it, man, I need this. He was like, just keep the money, man. In reality, I had like $2,000 left. I just didn't tell him.
He's sorry, Mr. Williams. He's sorry, man.
$2,000 and blew every
had
bit
a
of
good
that.
time, man.
Every bit of that.
Had a
I
good
blew. He was like, fine. Just keep the money, man.
Just keep the money.
I had $2,000 sitting in my
You
job.
had a good time.
I went and bought me a 51.8 spring. Because I had to do both. I had to do another fact. I had a 51.8. I bought me a 51.8. I just went and bought a cheap $100. Greg was like, get the 51.8. I said, okay, cool. I'm playing with the camera. So yeah. Oh yeah, we in here. Hit record. Okay, got this set up. No autofocus was trash on them cameras, video wise, back in the day. They were trash. I'm like, okay. Set my camera up. I had to get a tripod. Not knowing how much a tripod cost. I bought. He told me, go to B&H, man. Get this tripod. Get a tripod. I ain't had no Manfrottos like I got now. It was like a Davis and Smith or something. That was the heaviest tripod. I didn't carry that tripod nowhere. It was one of the heavy. If anybody out there has bought a tripod, you bought, and you ain't had no money, you bought a Davis and some. It's the cheapest tripod with a fluid head that you can get. $120. Once again, Manfrotto, that's $200-$300.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know about the heads yet.
You ain't calculated when you.
So you ain't figured none of this out yet. And you come in and you like, I'm $5,000 in already. All right, cool. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Start paying me for these shoots. Did a shoot with my camera. Charged $100. No, $300 to do a music video.
What you want, camera?
First of all, it took them damn near 3 months to pay me the last $99 they owe me. They split it up in a group. 100. 2 of them came through. One of them took a little longer than expected.
I bet.
So I planned to shoot out well. I went in on Craigslist, bought me a jib. Yeah.
You bought one.
Got me a jib, man. I want little cheap jibs. Bought me a jib. I got my weights. I'm thinking, yo. I set my scene in my man's townhouse. And I said, man, we're gonna do the group scene. This is when Meek, MMG had just came out with Ambition. When they was on top of the car garage. I took my ass to downtown Norfolk. Drove my truck up there, drove my car, my BMW up there. My man bought his truck. He had all the gear. And I said, what we gonna do for light, man? It's kind of, I set my camera, it's kind of dark out here, man. What we gonna do for light? You don't got no lights? No. What I need those for? This is a low light camera. They told me this was low light. They said you can see with this in the dark. What they didn't tell you, yeah, you can see it in the dark, it just ain't gonna be a good image. So we set up our headlights, got my jib coming down, boom, crank my ISO to about 3200, get home. This is grainy. I had to go find a noise reductor to take out the grain, not knowing it works, but it takes the sharpness completely out of the video. I was like,
That's why they didn't pay me.
that's why they didn't pay me enough money. The video was fire. They wound up sharing that video, and it got like they paid money to be on World Star with that video.
Word.
I didn't get any credit for it, but
You should have put it together.
I didn't have a name. I didn't have a tag. Well, at the beginning, look, this is when I thought I was a man. When it bought me a car mounted that camera to the. This is when I knew I was tripping. Now I'm tripping. Mounting that camera to the car. He had rented a Benz. I put the car mount on the Benz, on the side of the tire, so you could see the tire rolling. If that car mount would have gave out, my 6D would have been somewhere on in town center, right in town center garage. I was like, this ain't the right gear. This ain't the right gear. I should have bought a 5D. So when did you realize? That's when I realized this ain't the right camera. When did you realize your camera won't what you thought it was? When we did your promo,
Yes.
I've told this story a lot of times,
Yes. The promo.
but I'm gonna let you tell it finally. Tell your side of the story.
We get out there, we working, and I'm like, yo, this is about to blow up. This is gonna make me the biggest wedding photographer in Hampton Roads. I'm gonna have my Drake music playing. I got my top hat on. I'm good to go. Get out there, start taking. Get out there, start taking pictures. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm used to. I think I had a 50 at the time, like a 51.8 or something like that. I had a 51.8 and I still had that kit lens. That's what it's called, a kit lens.
By then, I had upgraded my gear.
Yep.
I had a 7200 4-stop.
4-stop, the F4.
F4.
This man, I'm taking pictures. I'm thinking, I said, oh man, that's dope. I'm good with that. Marcus said, well, leaves, yep. Marcus said, let me test out my F4 real quick. He put that camera down. He took the picture. Background, buttery, bokeh. I look at my little 51.8 and I look at that F4 image. His image all compressed and pretty. The colors is nice. I said, this got to go. Couldn't touch it.
He ain't had no bokeh, no
Nothing. Even though it was a 1.8, it still couldn't touch that
no bokeh.
200, man. I was like, man, it's never gonna be enough.
And the F4 not even that good.
F4 ain't even all that good.
Ain't even all that good.
But that was good that day.
And man, I'll never forget that. You were like, hey man, why mine ain't looking like yours?
Took the same picture from the same angle. What's going on?
Why mine ain't looking like yours, man? I said, man, 7200, the compression and all that. You're like, but I'm at a 1.8.
I'm at a 1.8.
You're not even at a 1.8. Yours is a 4. Why is your 4 better than my 1.8? I said, look, man, it's 17. No, man, you don't understand.
It's not right.
Based on what I have did my homework with, my image should look sharper than this. Why is your camera better than mine? Now, mind you, I had a 5D Mark II by then. Mm-hmm. So I had a better overall setup than him.
Period. Yeah.
I got my 5D, so I had saved. Matter of fact, I had that somebody was selling it in Hampton for $2,000.
A 5D.
So I said, you know what?
Well, didn't the Mark IIs that just come out at that time?
Mark IIIs that came out.
Okay.
I was like, I gotta get this Mark II. So Amber had gave me $1,000, and I had another $1,000. I got it. So I had the dude gave it to me in the box. I was like, the low light baby right here.
That's it.
That's another camera traction low light. I get home, I did what anybody else would do. Pull out my gear, lay it on the floor, and take pictures and post it online.
I'm the man now. I'm the man now. You see all this gear I got? I'm the man now.
I had my 7200 I had saved up and bought me a monitor. It was $400. I had my 6D. I had my 5D Mark II. I had my 51.8. I had an old beat up 1635 I found for like $400 on eBay. 1635, that lens was about $1,200 new. Somebody sold it for $400, not knowing there's a reason why he was selling $400. That lens was hell. It was beat up. It had a dent in it. It was the most raggedest lens out.
Was the glass good?
It had dust in the glass. I ain't know nothing about it. I had it. Not knowing when you put that joint wide at 16, the corners, I said, I'm putting in some, I've still got $400 on my credit card. I took my picture. I said, I need to make, I'm here now. I'm here now. Had my tripod laying up there and thinking I'm the man. That gear was worth nothing. I never used a monitor because I wasn't doing the job that I needed at all. I'm trying to mimic other people, not realizing this gear does not fit me at all.
What you trying to do?
What I'm trying to do. I remember when you got your next camera.
Yeah. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was old, man.
And he had went on someplace with that, but somebody gave him half up front, I think, didn't they?
It was eBay.
And you got that camera off eBay, and then he discovered renting lenses.
Yes, sir.
Lens rental.
Yes, lens rental. That's exactly what it was.
Disclaimer. If you rent a lens for almost 6 months and you hold it for 6 months straight, 3 months straight, you've bought that lens. Will had that lens for 3 months straight.
Yep. Every week came around,
Never
I'll give him
turned it
more.
back.
And I'd give,
Just re-up.
it was your fault for showing me the 7200.
And he carried that 70. I said one day, I said, Will, why don't you just buy one? I could do that, couldn't I? Well, I already bought one now because I don't spend on the When did you start tailoring? When did you stop following the trends
And figuring out what.
and tailoring your gear really to how you were as a shooter?
Probably in 2016.
So you had went. 16 was when you was really rolling.
Yeah, it's sort of, kind of.
When did you realize this gear I'm buying ain't what I need? Because you were all primes at one point. Like you didn't want no zooms. Everybody went through that phase, by the way, because primes, zooms was not even coming in below 2.8.
Nope, it was pointless.
And everybody wanted primes.
Yep. You want that 1.4, that 1.2. That's what you want.
And then Sigma.
Yeah. And that was I think going into the following year. I think, yeah. So 2016, I got them lights. I like to think I was the first person around here with the
Godox
lights. I think so.
You were.
I think so.
You were.
I think
because
so.
Mike Dragon was using Fodex.
Yeah.
He was the only person that was.
Everybody else, nobody, and everybody was using Pro Photo.
Everybody was on Pro Photo. If you didn't have a Pro Photo, you had Flash.
That was it.
That was
and
it.
I bought those Godox lights. I was like,
the biggest,
they still
heaviest lights.
And I still got them. I still use them. I'm gonna get rid of them this year, but I got that, and I was like, my kit was starting to come together that made sense to what I needed and what I use it for. And the only thing I think I was missing at that time was a 35 Sigma. Not even a Sigma. I was gonna buy the Nikon. Then you told me, like, yo, man, you gotta check this Sigma out. This joint is sharp.
Because Mike let me borrow his 35.
The Sigma.
Sigma for something. He was telling me about Sigma. And I was like, well, man, I don't really like. I'm
the off-brand. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
You don't really go off-brand, man.
Don't go off-brand.
Tacoma and all that, man. They known for being cheap.
Yeah.
I ain't get no Sigma.
I'm buying a Canon lens. I'm buying a Nikon lens. All right, yep.
Ain't how much I'm, look, dude, I'm trying to tell you, man. Bro, dude, you should really try it, man. Put it on your camera right now. We were at a shoot. Random shoot. I put that lens on that camera and said, oh my God.
Yep. It was a good lens.
And he said, That's only $700. I said, excuse me?
It's only $7. You know, you hear how you said that? That's another thing, man. Like this stuff is expensive,
Stuff
man.
is way expensive.
It's
And now
another
we don't
thing.
find where they're at. If it's under $1,000, that's cheap. Oh, that's cheap.
That's cheap. Under $1,000 is cheap,
So
especially with these
2016, you figured out
yeah.
what made you, how'd you figure it out though?
I had started to consistently I had picked up a style.
Yeah,
that-
editorial.
Yeah,
magazine.
it was. I figured out what worked for me, and I'm like, this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need that. I need to focus on this, this, and this. So this is what I'm going to buy because this is going to make these images that I'm already taking better.
That's the same thing with me because when I was doing DSLRs. This is back in when you were maxed out at, well, you still maxed out like 30 minutes. And do you know when you got a ceremony set up, and you get in there and that passes you long-winded.
That's it. Especially doing
if you don't start them things, it's been plenty of times where I forgot. So the trick is, when you got DSLRs, you can start them at the same time, but you got to stop them at different times and restart them. So if I'm 15 minutes in, I'm gonna stop one angle right quick, restart it, but wait like another 5 minutes, go to the other one, start it, stop it. You really want to start your middle one, stop your middle one first, and take care of your corners later. But through trial and error, you're not gonna remember that when you're working because you think I got time. I mean, spending time, I went back to that camera in the ceremony. It's off
because the 29 minutes to ran out,
and it just don't hit standby. It's off, and I'm like, hey,
won't be getting that angle.
Okay, let's figure something out here.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, man? They had just dropped the C100, and Greg got it. I've always chased Greg.
It was like a $6,000 camera at the time.
Nah, it was only like $3,000.
$3,000? Okay.
I always chased Greg because it was supposed to, because there were more expensive versions.
Okay.
I was always chasing Greg, and I was like, yo, what is that? Oh, it's a C100, dog. Blah, blah, blah. Look at this joint in low light. I went to the studio to borrow something from him, and he was showing me the low light. He was in his backyard with no light but fire lights. I said he was covering something, and all he had no light but the fire. And when I tell you he was like at 100,000 ISO, that joint was still sputter. I was like, the hell you got going on over here, man? So when I saw it, and anybody who's a gearhead, if you really are have that issue, when you see something that you want, it's
up here,
and it never leaves.
It never leaves.
So I said, I gotta get one of those. Sold my 6D for like $700 because it still had no shutter because I didn't take pictures.
Oh, so that's good. Okay.
So every time I sold a DSLR,
it was
always low shutter. I mean, I think I had that shutter count on that camera. I had 3 years, 100. I only hit the shutter maybe.
I always thought that when you went live on it don't do nothing to the shutter.
It don't hit the shutter count.
Wow, I never knew that.
At least back then it didn't.
Okay.
So when I put it online, the guy was just like, "Well, what's your shutter count?" I was like, I put it on a little drawing. I was like, "Man, it says 732 or something." Maybe like 700. It says 432. Gone. Facebook messages blew up.
Wow.
I'll take it. I'm like, what's the big deal?
You didn't understand
Didn't know what shutter was for real. What the shutters in the camera
what it meant
about.
Yeah.
Sold it. This is why I keep my boxes. Had my box, had all plastic up there, pretty much brand new. Sold it. I'm like, all right, I'm halfway there. I'm like, I need another $2,300 or something like that. Did a wedding, did another wedding. Mind you, I'm still working my regular job.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you got the C100s?
I only had one C100 at a time.
Never. Okay.
Paying my bills. And somehow, some way, I scrambled and got $2,500 and got one used. So you get it, you playing with the 5D, and I'm like, man,
don't.
This ain't it.
Nope.
Canon had because I wanted to do a cinema look. I wanted something I can do continuous, just in case. Canon had a lease program when they get ready to come out with something new, they put their cameras on a lease program, the older ones. So like all their cameras are B&H, not all of them, but like C100s, all that. Where basically you can finance for 24 months equal payments or 36 months for 1% interest, and at the end you pay $1.
Mm.
So I financed the C100. That's how I got my second one, and it was like bet. And then I realized, all right, I need lights and then audio and certain lenses. I'm like, okay, I don't want to keep doing primes because, but at the time I had a 24-70, and I have bought the 24-70 3 times.
Because you get rid of it. Yeah, because you get rid of it. You're like, I don't need it.
Frustrated
Yep.
with it. And it's like, because it has a way, the old ones had a way of making your image look warped if you weren't at the right angle.
Yep.
And you really had to learn how to really use a 24-70.
24 wasn't good.
You had
People
to
didn't realize
really
that,
learn
yeah.
how to use that lens if you were going to use it back then. And I was like, man, I ain't got time for this. Every time I zoom out, this junk looks stupid.
Gone.
Get rid of it.
Yep.
And there was still, that lens today still commands, you can have a version 1 and probably
Still
$600
good.
off
Yep.
of it. Because that lens was just that well built.
Yep.
So I got the lens, and I'm like, man, I need 7200s. So like you said, I started building my kit as I realized how I was as a shooter, which was basically like, I want to be kind of further back. I don't want to be the type of guy that was all in the front, but I also don't like extra wide exterior. Like some people, they be in the whole reception, you see the whole room. I don't want to really do that. So I started really building out my kit. And in my mind, I'm doing weddings full go. And if I did events and like speeches and stuff like that, I got to be able to record them for long formats. And they had SD cards, and thank God the SD cards came
with the extra slot on it, man. With the CFN SD, life changing, bro.
Because you can get you some cheap
SD cards. Like I could go to bed. I mean, you know what I was doing. I got weddings on cards from the week before. I go to Best Buy, buy me a new card that weekend, throw it in there. I'm good to go. That's cool.
Bro, that
ain't formatting
all
nothing.
You had.
Yes, man.
And I think the main thing, first takeaway is, I guess, figure out your style.
Yes, figure out what you want to do.
Because you could get in the habit of, I need, because when you were coming, you had to have a wide, a normal, and a telephoto.
Okay.
So you got to have at least a 35, a 50,
and a
85 or 100 plus.
Yeah.
So, and then if you want to get spiffy, you get your macro.
Yeah. But you get
a macro too.
You get around it.
But it's 4. That's the 4 thing they're telling you to do. But in reality, every lens in your kit has a purpose.
Yep.
So
it should. When you're thinking about going to buy lenses, you should.
Yeah.
Be thinking, what am I using this for? Do I need it? Why do I need it? All of these questions should be going through your head. You should be able to answer them every time. I need this because this. It's not, Canon just released an 85 millimeter 1.2. I want it.
RF. I gotta have it. Now that RF glass is legit.
It is.
But in reality, you just gonna get in the process of trying to stay with the Joneses.
Yeah, and it's stupid.
And you don't go nowhere. Yep. So I'm at a point where, like right now, if we keeping it wedding, I could have a ceremony kit. I used to carry a ceremony kit in my truck only, where it had 2 7200s in it. One camera that I did, that was a third camera, audio, like lives and all that, and that was in one big case.
Pull that kit out, you're going to the ceremony.
Ceremony. When I'm done, take back to the truck. Corporate jobs, you don't need, like I know what lenses I'm gonna use. On a corporate job, depending on the room, especially if you location scout, there's no person for me to bring a 700 like in your office.
Not at all.
So you bring in more primes, you bring in more, different things like that.
At least 24-7.
24-7 is your backup, and you only throw a 35 and a 50 in there, 85 call a day. So you learn how to build for your jobs and your aesthetic. So in reality, what really matters the most? Because you need the gear. You kind of, my rule of thumb is, if you're doing video and like the 4K wave, I stayed out the 4K wave. I think I recently just got on the 4K wave maybe 2 years ago. Because in my mind, a clean 1080 image can rival a 4K because your client, most internet signals couldn't even handle 4K.
It's still good, ain't it? Like 1080.
Yeah, if you clean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But 4K now, when you start to hear people asking you about it, it's like, all right, now I need to kind of make a move because everybody's starting to like ask, oh, we shouldn't do the 4K? It's like, okay.
How you know about that?
Somebody who got married told you
that it should be shot 4K or whatever.
What cameras you shoot on? You don't even know.
You don't even know. Well, shut up.
Just because you're a starving artist or you want to be one, don't mean you know what I'm doing.
No.
So
hate that question. You don't even know.
You just have to. So it's like, all right, I upgrade to 4K because when you upgrade, your systems upgrade, everything upgrades.
That
so
means
it's like
hard drives got to be my God.
So you're factoring in a lot of different things because in reality, you need speed. This is a speed business.
All day.
It's a speed business. Your stuff has to be able to react real time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to wait on. Back in the day, boy. I transferring 200 gigs on a hard drive.
You waiting 2 hours off, man.
Throw that bad boy and go to bed.
Yeah.
Or exporting off of these old computers. Jesus, I'm going to sleep. And wake up and pray that joint down before it's closed this up.
Yep.
So
or crash.
And crash. Now you hit the joint. You go get some drink. It's done.
Yep.
But you pay for that. So in reality, how do you keep yourself at bay? But also realizing certain things I got. Okay, I'm gonna take this question back. What, as a photographer, what do you have to do weddings and commercials?
Okay.
What do you have to have?
2 cameras.
2 cameras.
Gotta have 2 cameras.
Why?
A main and a backup.
Just
at least. You lose one, you're done.
Okay.
That's it.
2 cameras.
2 cameras. 24-70.
Huh.
Yeah. That's become.
I know.
Yeah.
Will got lazy.
Yeah. It's become.
Will ain't priming nothing.
No more for real. No.
He ain't priming nothing.
And 24-70. And well, let me just stick with weddings. All right. So 2 cameras for weddings. 35. Actually, 24-70, 7200. I would rock with that. That'll get you a whole day for a wedding. It's just me. And as far as like commercial work, 85.
Sharpness is key.
Yes.
Sharpness.
85, 24-70. I would rock with that.
So bare minimum. Yeah. 24-70 will get you through.
I think just having a 24-70 is just
that's the universal.
It's universal anyway. Like you be.
And I realize that too now. I use more 24-70. Like I don't even use. If I use my 50, but if I'm going into like prep now, I throw 24-70.
24-70. Because are you even at it? Are you even at 2.8 anymore? Nope. You going like what? 3.2?
3.2.
F4.
I'm at a 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it don't. That's
receptions. I'm at a 4 maybe.
That's the mindset that we got to get past. Like we all think that this 1.4, 1.2, 1.8 is like the greatest thing ever, and you should have it. Don't get me wrong.
That is if you 2.4, 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, 2.0. If you're not trained to handle it,
you're gonna be in trouble anyway.
It will screw you.
Yes,
up.
It will.
It will first of all send your autofocus through the roof.
Not even talking about autofocus.
But if you manually focusing,
you in trouble.
You better be able to lock in.
Yes.
And know your focus rings.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you cannot focus in on, if you miss the mark and you walk away,
that's it.
It's a wrap.
I mean, even with any other f-stop too, but
that's a different beast.
That's a different beast. And so, we that goes back to skill. That's the skill. Like you need to understand
down there now. You gotta have a reason to go.
You gotta have a reason to go down there.
Like you gotta be in the.
And these lenses, that's where you gotta understand your lenses too. Like the compression. Like we were talking about the f4 on the 7200. People were like, "Oh, I need to buy the 2.8." You kind of don't need to buy. You could buy the f4 and just get back far enough and put that at 200. You kind of got the same bokeh as a 2.8.
On top of that, most sweet spots for lenses now aren't even.
They're not even that low.
They want you at a 2.5 or 2.2.
3.2. I've learned at 3.2.
My 1.2. They told you gotta be a 2.0.
Really?
2.0.
That's it.
My 2470, I think it's like a 3.5 or something like that. 4. Like they don't even want you opening that wide open. Your sharpest, cleanest image is somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in reality, do you need low aperture lenses? Because in reality, they're not as expensive as zooms are now.
No, Zoom's way more.
Zooms are way up there now.
They up there now.
They up there.
Depending on your job, I know that dealing with weddings, you go into a venue that's not
Like you need primes in
Need primes in
at
that- in that.
Williamsburg Winery.
Yeah, definitely. Like you kind of want to be at a low aperture because you want to get in as much light as you can. Crack, oh, definitely.
But
Like-
Women's Club, you probably get away.
Women goes you get away with. I could be at a 7200 f/3532 in there, because all I'm doing is I can raise my shutter up. I mean, lower it to at least 100
True.
and had an ISO 1200, almost 2000. It's
Good to
cool.
go.
It's good to go. But when you start getting into that Chrysler range, where it's dark in there, and you can't lower the shutter speed, because you know if you lower the shutter speed, you get into movement.
Yeah.
You can't go to 280. You can't
That
open it
reminds
up
me.
anymore.
Y'all out here who are dropping that shutter speed past 60, try because you think you can let more light in. Stop it. Learn the science of a shutter speed to an f-stop to an ISO. First of all, you shouldn't really be playing with your ISO anyway. Keep it at the natural ISO your camera is meant to be at, where it tells you the sweet spot. Every camera has a sweet spot when they make them. Stop dropping that shutter. I did a wedding one time where they had dropped that shutter to like 30. And I cut that corner and said, what is this? I mean, that's the thing about it. Now these cameras won't let you go that low for video. But back then, you could go down to a 30 for a second. And I tell you, it was bad. I was like, yo, why does this look like this? He shot a 24. 23.97. You at that wedding.
Oh, work? Okay.
You at that wedding.
All right.
I was like, why is he so low? Not realizing he didn't bring that much light where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, but that's back then. DSLRs let you go that low. These cameras now, they don't even let you get that low.
Don't even let you go that low. I'll go to a 40 during a ceremony, because they up there now and moving.
Oh, yeah,
You know
y'all
what I mean?
straight,
Like,
y'all
you good to
straight,
go. You can do that, but once they start moving,
You better remember to change it.
You better remember to change that back. Like that's the skill. Like it's all a balance, man. Like you gotta have a balance of it. Like
So the person makes the tool or the tool makes the person?
person made the tool. Person definitely makes the tool.
So if you were challenged to create an image with a point and shoot, you believe you can still get the same image or close to it. You can make that camera do exactly what you see. Because you've done enough homework now, you know how cameras
Yep.
work.
You give me that same camera that I first bought.
You can
I
do
can
it.
still make this work. Like somehow.
You may not get as clean as an image,
No,
but you
but
can make it work.
and then going in post production, I can just clean this shit up. It's cool. Like
So what advice, as we wrap up, what advice would you give a photographer starting out who may not have the most gear in the world?
don't worry about the gear. Don't worry about it. Figure out, learn the skill first. Learn the camera that you do have.
Learn your craft before you go buy one.
Yes, because then you got a bunch of stuff you don't even know how to use it. You don't know what it's used for. Like going back to the story we was talking about, I didn't know the compression on a 70. I'm like, why is it everything that I know 1.8 is supposed to blur out everything? You don't understand the compression of this 70 to 200 just demolishes what this is. Learn that. Learn your gear, and then buy one piece at a time. Another piece. Okay, I figured out. And then you gotta go shoot. Once you go shoot, you'll find that there are holes that need to be filled.
True. And then you buy based off that.
Exactly.
What we're basically saying is don't rush the process. This month I'm on 11 years.
This new gear coming out.
It's coming out every year now. So trust the process and be patient.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll come.
It's just chill and just learn as much as you can. Learn. I bought those alien bees that year. That I bought those lights. Man, I don't like these because I couldn't change the power. I had to go manually change the power on it. And I'm like, if I'm at a wedding, I can't walk away, go bring this down, bring the power down. I need something I can change on right there. So let me go look this up. Oh, these lights are new. Nobody has these. Let me get these. I can change the power. And they're battery operated. I can change the power right there from the camera. Give me those. Learn my lesson. Those don't work for me. Let me get something else.
I heard the man.
That's it, man. Time. Don't be geared. That gas is real, bro. Gas is real, bro. Gas is real. Hey, man. So we appreciate y'all checking out Hustle and Motivate podcast. We'll be back again soon with some more videos. Y'all always respect the hustle if you earn from it and motivate others in the process. See y'all in a minute.